Oh, wait. Time out. We're almost to Portal Turret 2. Let's get Portal Turret 2 first. And then we'll do it. Gary is very well fed. Gary is very well fed. Yes, he is. He is a little Chongus Maximus. Don't you worry about Gurkey. Don't you worry about Gurkey. He is just fine. Oh, God. Wait, another one of these things. Hey, Boom Bap, what's up, buddy? Oh. Oh, phasing rounds? Well, we don't really need phasing rounds. I think I want the beam, even though it... Yeah, well, yeah, no. That's kind of a tough decision. Over here real quick. Yeah, it's a little bit more damage, but it doesn't have the oh, here we go. This is good. It doesn't have both turrets. Wait, can I not use this? No, there we go. Alright, let's go do this. Make it happen, chat. We're going to slay the dragon, the Dargon. It's time to slay the Dargon. Yep, you heard me. Dargon slaying time. You guys ready for the secret ending? Ready? Have you prepared yourself mentally and physically? Because this is happening. I can also safely say that we're going to be doing the Resident Evil 7 DLC tomorrow. It's going to be my first time. If you'd like to get all ready for Resident Evil 8 Village, which we will be playing, of course, be here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. ET. Should be a lot of fun. I have no idea which one we're starting with. I don't even know what the DLC really is, so join me as we explore that together. We'll also probably play this tonight for the Cozy stream to work on unlocking different guns and stuff. Boop. Aha! When do we start RE8? I have no idea. As soon as we get it, but I don't know when that's going to be. Probably release day. That's an ugly one. Don't you talk about my mom that way. Jeez, man.
Across light years of anguish, my answer is beneath you. Give it to me.
Give it to me, Neil. I feel like this fight has gotten a lot harder. Probably just because I've gotten older since I beat it last. Dude, those purple beams are absolutely wrecking me. Oh, man. Not good. I don't think I'm gonna beat this. Oh my god. Wow. 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 Holy shit. Damn, dude. I was okay. Am I hallucinating, or was that a tougher fight? I probably am, but that was ridiculous. My lord, dude. Wow. Wow. All right, here we go. I swear to God, if I die when I hit the bottom of this area, dude. I swear to God, chat. Oh, wait, do I have another res? This I have another res. I've got the parasite res still. Oh. Okay, here we go. The moment of frickin' truth. Show me what you've got.
Nani?
Thank you, Vanguard of Calamity. Appreciate your support, dude. Thank you for your sub bomb.
I told you to leave me alone.
Celine.
Helios.
Is there more? Please explain the ending. I have no idea. Like I thought that was gonna be more eye-opening, but I have no idea. No clue. Like, somebody said just further ahead there's an ending thing. No, I don't see it anywhere, man. Dude. Okay. Hold on, somebody said okay, let me see if this actually exists. Hold on. Let me see here. Okay. The ending shows Celine confronting the decrepit women. Okay, hold on. Let's mute it real quick. Okay. This ending shows Celine confronting the decrepit woman in the wheelchair and throwing her to the ground. It then flashes and implies that Celine was the astronaut. This is off, by the way, GameRevolution.com. It then flashes and implies that Celine was the astronaut the whole time, as the other Celine crashes the car into the astronaut Celine. The driver Celine that plunged into the lake then swims up to the surface of the water. As it cuts to black, she gasps Helios before it goes to the credits. There are a couple ways to interpret this. Helios is the name of her ship, and this implies she has not escaped Atropos since her ship Helios is at the beginning of every loop. The game also continues on like normal, then restarts the loop once again after the credits finish and she has fallen back into the cycle. It is also possible to see it as her calling out her son's named Helios, which would mean that she escaped the loop and found him, even though he'd probably still be inside the sinking car. The screen is black during this segment, so there's no definitive answer. Yeah, okay, so, okay, the secret ending explained, that explains nothing, and they're just guess. It's all guessing. So, dude. There's no ending to this game. There's no ending to this game. This game does not have an ending. It basically throws about 10 different, like, this is what it could be's at you. And then leaves it up to leaves it up to you to decide what the ending actually is. There are more endings? Are there really more endings? There's an audio log outside the ship. I do not see an audio log outside the ship. Yeah, I don't see nothing. I don't think there's any more endings. I don't see an audio log either. But the thing that's really weird here is that, yeah, there was like zero concreteness at this at all. Here is a better article. Let me take a look at this one real quick. So what exactly happened at the end of Returnal? Well, it seems like the game's writers intended for the exact events and their implications to be left open to a healthy degree of interpretation. Here's a brief rundown of the major moments of Returnal's two endings. Okay. After you beat Orpheon in Act 2, you enter a crater and dive to the bottom of a large body of water. You strangely encounter a car that looks like it's been underwater for quite some time. This is the first ending. Things start to get strange as Celine flashes back to a time when a mother and a child were driving a car you've just seen. The mother certainly looks like Celine. Don't fear, the Reaper plays on the radio as the child is asked if the mother sees the white shadow. Soon thereafter, the radio starts to cut out, which distracts the mother long enough. Yeah, this is the first ending. Okay. Now let's go to the second ending. One of the most popular early interpretations of the first ending suggests the events of Returnal are all a dream. That's what we thought. The idea behind that explanation is that Celine was obsessed with her work, was in a terrible car accident partially caused by fatigue, and has essentially imagined her journey through Returnal as either a dream formed in her dying moments or some way to cope with what really happened by replacing the events of this accident in her mind with a grand adventure. There's some evidence to support this theory. We know that Celine was obsessed with her work and that her own mother was also consumed by her profession. We've also seen glimpses of the astronaut figure throughout the game, and the mysterious signal that inspired Celine to explore Atropos was simply known as the White Shadow. Put it all together and you've certainly got a compelling case for some kind of dream scenario. Also, the 836 thing. The fact that that was on the clock, the fact that 836 was on the clock when the car went down and that was like burned into her head, like that kind of makes sense. Anyway. However, aspects of that story don't seem to add up. If it was all a dream, then how do you explain the other false endings we saw through the title, which we saw Celine return to Earth only to be thrown into the loop again? That's a good point. If she's imagining all of this, then what was the trigger that eventually caused her to discover what really happened? Another good point. Also, how do you explain the radio cutting out so strangely, the true identity of the figure in the road, and the timeline of when Celine is supposedly having this dream? Could it all be that the accident threw Celine into some kind of purgatory where she's forced to confront her final moments as a form of punishment? That would certainly help explain the theme of the game's difficulty to cover up a couple of loose ends. However, it turns out there's another ending in Returnal which opens up some new possibilities. Returnal's secret ending sees Celine confront a strange figure in a wheelchair. The figure soon jumps up and grabs Celine by the throat, but Celine is able to fight them off. It's then that we see the creature's name is Thea, the name of Celine's mother. From here, Celine is transported to another world. She soon finds herself standing in the middle of the bridge in her spacesuit as a car swerves to avoid her and crashes into the waters below. After that, we move the perspective to one of the car's survivors as they swim to the surface. We don't see them reach the surface, but we do hear Celine cry Helios. This is obvious enough that this ending implies that Celine was transported back in time and was the astronaut that caused the car accident. This ending and that does it, and the house sequence events that precede it also seem to confirm that Celine wasn't the one driving the car in the original ending, and that she was the child. The real driver was her mom, Thea. If that's true, then it seems like we have to reinterpret the events of the other ending in the game itself. My theory, and this is from denofgeeks.com, is that Celine's time paradox is both literal and metaphorical. Along with the idea that Celine was the figure that caused the car crash years ago, an earlier scene suggests that Celine paradoxically shot down her own ship. We do remember that. This would imply that Celine does have control over her situation to a degree, and that not everything we're seeing is a dream or metaphor. Metaphorically speaking, though, the thematic implications is that Celine was caught in a time loop in her own life by trying to live out the dreams of space exploration that her mother couldn't, as a result of potentially being paralyzed after that car accident. Although the wheelchair could again be a metaphor. We even see a letter during one of the house sequences that suggests her mother was rejected for such a program due to physical condition. Man, I don't know, dude. It's really weird. Like the thing about this game that is really kind of bugging me a little bit is like, yeah, oh yeah, it's all guessing. For the record, everything there is guessing. It's all guessing. But at the same time, like, it's trying to draw tangents. It's got to be either one or the other. Either all of it's fake or all of it's real. And the game never... I was really hoping the secret ending would confirm one of those. But there's nothing, and I mean, I guess you could kind of take the, like, leave it open to interpretation thing, but I feel like that kind of sucks, to be honest. Because it why would you do that? Why, like what's the point of that? I don't, why if you leave it up to interpretation, that just means that you were kind of like scared to take the plunge in one or the other. It's confirmed it's real. Okay, so if it's real, then why is it never explained why there's tons of items in Alien Fabricators that revolve around her childhood and stuff? Like, that's where it gets weird. Like, if it's if it is real, there's no explanation into why there's all this random stuff of hers on this world. If it's not real, there's not nearly enough to confirm it's not real, and there's not nearly enough connections to confirm it. Like, I feel like either side, there's just not enough. There's not enough. The only thing I can maybe, well, there's a third option here. Maybe the whole reason they're doing this is because they want there to be more Returnal down the road. Maybe this is a situation where they're not done telling the story. And at this point, we're not supposed to know. Maybe? I don't know, man. Maybe for a $70 DLC. Yeah, it would be kind of rough to do that in a situation where it's $70, but man, interesting. Like, I have to admit, like, it's interesting. If anything else, I just want more. I wish there was more. I wish there was more. I kind of hope that they don't leave it here. I feel like this world and this story is cool enough to actually be explained and have a real ending. And I feel like we didn't get a real ending. I feel like we didn't get any closure of any kind. And I have to admit that for how much work they make you do for the secret ending, I feel like it didn't add enough. I feel like the secret ending should have added more. It really should have given us, even if it was just a little bit of something for sure. Like, the fact that she was the astronaut in the road. Like, we still don't even know, like, we don't even know if that's her kid or if she's the kid. Or, like, there's just so many questions that aren't answered. There's so many questions that aren't answered. I'm assuming she's the kid because we see through her perspective in the house. But we heard a newscast about a kid surviving and the mother dying. If that's true, then the kid survived and the mother died in the car crash. But we see through the perspective of the mother in one of the things. So it's like one of those has to be false, and we saw it through somebody else's perspective. Right? She didn't die. She got paralyzed, not killed. Okay. So maybe that's the wheelchair. Mother was heavily injured, not killed. So maybe that's the wheelchair. So do you think, so if the mother was paralyzed in the accident and the kids survived, then that would be, then the secret ending has a bit more representation because the mother's in the wheelchair. She, like, tries to attack our girl, Celine, because maybe she's just so frustrated with the situation. But then that leads to, like, why if the mother looks like a Cthulhian entity, is that supposed to say that that's because that's how Celine views her? And that then again plays into the fact that it's all a dream in Celine's head or created by Celine's head. Because why would the mother look like that if it wasn't from the perspective of Celine? And why would it be the perspective of Celine if it was real, you know? It's art, just interpret it. Yeah. The audio log is one of her dying on the side of the road. So that could then mean that okay, so if that's the case, then when we see the perspective of the woman in the car and the giant Cthulhian entity is underwater, could that represent like the looming darkness that's coming into Thea because of what's happening in the car? But if she's paralyzed, how did she swim out? If she got super injured, how did she save the kid and swim both of them out? Really strong arms? But she got pulled away. She was pulled out. And then some other dark entity went down and got the kid. What was the point of that? No, I'm pretty sure in the ending, the Cthulhian thing like pulls her away from the car and then the Cthulian thing goes back towards the car. I think. Maybe. Quantum mechanics. Sure. Is it like a purgatory afterlife situation? I think that's a theory. Yeah. I think that's a theory. It means she's tormented psychologically by it? Maybe. But then what again, again, okay, so the 836 would be indicative of when the car crash happened. Don't fear the Reaper could have something to do with it too. Maybe that's supposed to be some kind of crazy symbolism. But then again, going into all this, like, if we're assuming that all that is accurate, then we have to. But then, did the mother really swerve? Was the white shadow the astronaut? And did the white shadow ever really exist? And then why did the kids say something about the white shadow before they swerved? Because then if we're assuming this, then the kid would have been Celine. The files are in the computer? What? Nothing is true, everything is permitted. Wrong franchise. Yeah. Could it be the mother's in a coma? Sure, at this point. But I mean, no, well, not really, because that would, if the mother, I don't, when you say mother, do you mean Thea? I don't think so. Celine blames herself for the mother's paralysis because her mother mistreated her as a child, so she feels she was a bad child person. The secret ending was her coming to terms. She was the reason. But then what's the whole Helios thing? Why is there such a focus on Helios in that case? What is Helios? You can't stop laughing? Dude, I know. Now we're just making up shit? I know. Helios is the car? I don't. It all comes back to the car! I will say the rusted car and the rusted ship is kind of interesting, but I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It could be if the white shadow represented her trauma and her guilt, then it would kind of make sense that she was getting warning signs from her brain not to approach her guilt at the beginning. I don't know, man. But see, again, like, and it all comes back to the fact that, what was the 836 about? The 836 was what time it was when the crash happened. So I'm pretty sure that's why all that happened. The white shadow of the astronaut during the car crash. Yeah, but the thing is we need to, does the astronaut actually exist, or was that her just being tired? Like maybe, because she does make a face like she's super tired earlier in the car. Maybe when the kid said, like, look for the white shadow, it made her, like, you know, half fall asleep, and that's why she crashed or something. Yeah, I saw that too. Epic Mortal says, was Thea pregnant at the end? I saw that too. She had a really big stomach. It looked like she was pregnant, which is really strange because that doesn't, like, I think that was just the model was supposed to be super weird. Because yeah, I definitely noticed that too. But there was no question, like it said Thea when her voice spoke, so it's no question it's the mom. But that was weird. Not just a beer belly. It might have been a beer belly. Yeah. It might have been a beer belly. Little baby tentacles. Oh, hot dog eating contest winner. That probably makes the most sense. Guys, I'm getting out of here. Let's do a quick thoughts video on Returnal, and then we're gonna go from there. So how am I gonna do this video without spoiling the fact that there's 0 answers at the end of it? I think I should probably just avoid talking about the ending, shouldn't I? I think I'm just gonna focus it on the gameplay and stuff. Should I mention it all? Well, I'm debating if I should mention like. No, I don't want to. I don't talk about spoilers in a thoughts video. So, I think I'm just going to. I think I'm just going to avoid it. We're just going to stick to the gameplay. Okay, here we go.